Hey everyone, I'm starting this new series. I'm literally jumping straight in. I kind of got ahead of the ball and started doing a bunch of things. I'm basically trying to uh, code an app using just ChatGPT and VS Code and make something and see how fast I can hit $1 with it. So I'll catch you up what I did so far. So I started with ChatGPT. So with ChatGPT, I basically told them, hey, I want to build a mobile app. I'm going to describe what it is, and I'm a beginner, so I'm not actually a beginner, but just to show how we could do this even as a beginner. So I told them the only tools I have so far are ChatGPT, and I'm using VS Code. Yeah, I know there's cool other tools that people are using, such as Claude Code these days, or the very popular Cursor, but I just wanted to show if you just have ChatGPT and something simple as VS Code, we could do this too. So for now, I'm going to do that, and maybe in the future I'll switch to them. So as you can see, ChatGPT basically, told me to describe what I have in mind, and I said I want to make a birthday app, and these are the features that I want to have it. So it said, okay, so let's do a couple of these things. And one other thing I told it is I want to either use Expo Go or I want to be using the iPhone simulator through Xcode. So it told me, all right, this is the stuff we need to do. React Native, VS Code, async storage, date, FNs. So then it's going to tell me that, all right, we need to install this stuff. So I'll show you what I did so far. Let me scroll back up. So as you can see, the first thing that I did is I already have Node installed, so I skipped this step. So next thing I did was this command. As you can see, I got a bunch of errors, and I know a little stuff. It's telling me I don't think you have permissions or whatever. So I could have just asked ChatGPT, but I know I just needed to add sudo on top of it. So I did that and did a bunch of stuff. Okay, the next step was to create a new Expo project. So I talked to it in another chat, asking it about app names. So I kind of told her, hey, I want to build an app, and I want you to make it SEO optimized so it ranks up higher in the search engine when you're searching it for an app. So I suggested a bunch of names, and I basically landed on the next payday name. And then it gave me some suggestions of things to do and all that. And it kept saying something about countdown. I wasn't really a fan of that. So I told it, hey, I'm not a fan of that countdown part. So it took it out and gave me a bunch of suggestions. So I'm using the next payday as a project name. So that's what I did here. So let me go back to this chat. So again, let me go back up a bit. And basically I did all this good stuff, and you can see I did the expo init, and when I did that I saw a bunch of errors. So it's telling me that my global package has been deprecated. So what I did is I copied that, and basically I put it in here, and I said, hey, I'm getting a bunch of errors. Okay, so one thing I did first, actually, sorry to go back, is I told I want my app to be called Next payday and to remember that. And then I told it I'm getting this error when I run the expo start command. So let me scroll down. And you can see when I did expo start, I got this error. So what I did was I put it in here, told me, hey, you have to run these commands. So when I tried doing that, I again got some weird errors like this. So I added sudo again in front of it, and you can see I got some warnings, but overall it was working fine. And then when I ran npm expo start, like I said, it gave me this, and I wanted to use the iOS simulator. So when I clicked on that, I needed to open the App Store and download Xcode, so I did that. So that's where I'm at to catch you guys up. So let's see what we could do now. So let's try this once again now that the Xcode is installed. So I'm going to close this and see again. I'm going to try to rerun this and see what happens. So If I click I again, let's see if it opens it up for me. So I'm still waiting. Nothing's happened yet. So I'm just gonna do Control C. Let's stop the server. I'm gonna restart it. I'm gonna click I. Okay, so we got some issue. Let's run the command it's suggestion. Oh. Okay, I'm just gonna hit cancel. Let's try this one more time. So let's try this command to start again. So I'm going to copy all this. Let's stop it. Let's paste this. So this is working. So XC run is not configured correctly. So let me try this. I'm gonna cancel. I'm just gonna open Xcode, maybe because it hasn't been open, it's not working. Great, so let's just add this, blah, blah, blah. Okay, let's just stick to these for now, download and install. So I'm gonna pause this recording. When this is done, we'll jump back in. Okay, so now I got these screens and saying what's new in Xcode, and it's also installing the simulator. So again, just to show you guys, gonna pause it and come back. Okay, so that took a long time, but let's keep going. Let's see what we got now. So I'm gonna close this downloads, continue. And I am looking for Xcode. It is somewhere. So I'm using multiple screens, but here it is. I found it. Let's try this again. As you can see, sometimes things take a couple minutes until they work. So we gotta keep trying. All right, opening on iOS. Let's see what happens here. Feeling good about this. Okay, so it's doing a bunch of stuff. All right, so we got something going. Okay, it's doing a bunch of updates, blah, blah, blah. I'll pause this for now. Okay, so it says something about developer tools. Okay, continue. Okay, so I'm just going to close this for now. I don't know what this is. And all right, we got something. I mean, at least we know this works. So let's tell ChatGPT to go to the next steps. Now, as you guys seen, I'm kind of not really editing this because I wanted to get something out as soon as possible. So I'm gonna be pausing here and there, and maybe this video isn't so clean, but just want to make something to share to show you guys. Okay, so let's catch up and see where we're at. Okay, so we did all this, and I'm gonna say, okay, expo start. All right, let's see what the next steps are now that we can do this. so let's see what it says. Okay, so let's follow this. Let's, I guess I gotta Control C for now, so we can stop this. Okay. Again, let's try with sudo. Every time I don't do that, it does some weird. Okay. So I'd already opened VS Code and I have loaded my project. So I'll move it over here. Try to make it so we can read both. Okay, so if you're curious on how I did this, you could just do File, Open Folder, and then you select your folder and it'll open up in VS Code. Close this. I'm gonna close that. Okay, so we have an app.js, so we need a source folder. Okay, so that's weird. So let's create this new folder. I thought it would be there, but I guess we have to create it. And inside of here, I'm going to add all these different folders. So I'm going to create a new folder called components. And inside of components, I'm going to add a new file. So I'm going to do these in the background real quick and then unpause this. Okay, as you can see, I got this structure going right now. So we have these files and folders. All right, so we need some sample birthdays. So okay, so I'm just gonna copy this. And I'm gonna just paste this in birthdays. And I'm just literally gonna save it. I'm just gonna follow whatever it says here. Okay, so let's copy all this stuff. Okay, so this one needs to go in home screen. Okay, I guess we're just gonna erase all this stuff and I'm just gonna paste this in here and save. So I'm just gonna make sure everything is saved. Okay, it looks like everything's already saved. So I'm going to have to rerun that command because we installed something. So let's rerun expo start. And then again in the simulator. So let's give it a second. This looks like the old one. I think it said you could do something like Command K. No, it doesn't work. I'm just gonna try and hit R and see if it'll refresh. Okay, there we go. Something's happening now. Well, okay, not bad. We got some errors, so let's see. So let's copy some. I'm going to copy this and paste it in the chat GPT and let it kind of handle this stuff. So let me see if I can just paste this. I got the following error / warning. No, that didn't work. Let me see if I can find that screenshot real quick. So it's on my desktop, so I'm gonna add and see what it says. Okay, let's copy this one, see what it does. We need to put this in homescreen.js, so and let's just try it again. Let's see what happens. Oh, I guess I could have just copied this warning, but okay. Well, that seems better. Okay. Not bad. Let's see what else we need to do. Okay, so it seems like we have some blank birthdays. I think the next thing we need to do is actually ask it to maybe clean up the code a bit, because one thing I noticed is that, for instance, it is adding the styles right inside of here, and I think maybe it'd be better to create a separate style sheet. So let me ask what it thinks about that. I went with the right way, so I'll just say that so it knows what I did, and then we're just gonna say okay. Should we separate the CSS styles into separate files for each of the 3 files we have currently? I don't know if that's the best way to say it. So let's see what happens. Okay, so it's telling me why I don't need to do it yet, but just to make this better, in case I want to add more features and before it gets super complex, it's telling me how to do it. I'm telling me, show me how to do it for all 3 files. Again, I'm coming at this from a beginner kind of perspective. I want it to do as much as possible for me, and I want to show you guys you could do as much as possible with it. I'm experimenting with this. This is the first time I've tried to vibe code something, but yeah, let's see what happens. Okay, so it's telling us we're going to do it for these 3 files. So, okay, I'm literally just going to copy and paste this and Control V, and I'm just going to save this. Okay, I don't know if we need this just yet. One thing I noticed is not doing, where's app.styles? Okay, let me tell it to, I think we need a separate folder for CSS. So let me tell that. It seems like it's doing it in a weird place, so let me just have it do that again. Okay, so let's see what the new structure is. So I'm gonna create this real quick. Again, I think these should be CSS files, but I'll ask it again. I know this is not a complete beginner. I know some stuff, but I'm just kind of... Okay, I guess I was wrong. I guess we'll follow its suggestions. That's knowing a little bit too much sometimes, or thinking you know it, so you can see you can get tripped up sometimes. Let's go back up here and copy some stuff and do this. I'm gonna do all the stuff that it says and then we'll see what the progress is. Okay, it took me some time, had to keep going back and forth, some errors I had, but it's up and working again, and now we have our items separated. As you can see here, we have our styles separated and all these other source files inside of here. Okay, so let's tell ChatGPT because this was what it was suggesting for us to do next. So let's do that. So ChatGPT generated a bunch of this stuff to do. So I'm gonna go through, do all this, and then show the result. All right, so this is what I got. So I got this working, and we could see this come up, and it connected to local storage, and now we can even add a birthday. So if we click on this, and let's use some name. Let's say their name is Mike. Let's say their birthday's today, and let's just click save, and there we go. So you can see I added Mike, so his birthday's today, so it shows you birthdays today, and then you see him coming up in 7 days. I added another entry previously, so you can see it also shows that. So I think for today I'm going to stop here and call it a wrap. So good progress. Make sure you subscribe and follow for more.